Stay the 28th.
Yes.
That's all right, man. Did you recover?
We are live now, so you are ready to roll.
We're doing 111 first.
Yes, 111.
They're out there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, it is Tuesday, June 28th at 8:32 a.m. and we are convening a session of the Aransas County Appraisal Review Board. So we're ready anytime you want.
All right.
Mhm. That's cute.
Where do we
You
sit?
first.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you can sit here. You guys sit.
Good, how you doing?
It's pretty early, but I think I'm doing all right. Okay, we are convening. I have a bunch of administrative stuff I'll run through first, and then when we need you to sign in, we'll let you know. We're convening a session of the Aransas, we're commencing a hearing for case number 2022-111. Account number 20528, which is 2311 Harbor Drive in Rockport, Texas. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. And verify what's under protest. Looks like market value and equity, we're still checking in. And we don't miss anything. Yep. Great. Market value and equity. I'm sorry?
Number of rooms, bedrooms.
Is that the equity?
It's written on the.
Yeah, okay, so that would fall under other, but that's okay, we'll address that as we get to it, okay? You can address that in your evidence. Okay. I represent the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. The ARB does not work for the appraisal district, and we are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience, and the survey can be completed using the survey form that's here, or there's a copy that will be in the determination package that you receive in the mail after the hearing, or if you'd like, you can even take it online. All the information about how to return it is there at the top of the form. Survey is entirely voluntary. However, we always do appreciate any feedback you may want to offer on the process. You also have the right to appeal our decision. And appeal information is also included in that determination package that will be mailed to you after the hearing. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that have not been provided must be provided at this time. And I do see we have evidence. Okay, great. All of your evidence has been submitted.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So the ARB member who is considering the protest has not communicated with anyone about the protest and is signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Scott Weigert, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. So all testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath, so you'll be asked to swear at this time, and Beth can help you do that.
I'm gonna read the statement that starts with I do out loud, and then state your name, and then sign and print. Okay, I do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board
for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct. Now, am I signing this one or this one?
Then you're on yours.
Fine, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
They both need to state their names also.
Wendy Fox.
Edward F. Fox.
All right, Rusty, do solemnly swear upon the testimony of the afraid to be both the Aransas County Resident Spirit of God.
Okay, I need to ask if either of you hold a license certificate with the Texas Appraisers Licensing and Certification Board.
No.
That's okay. My one's actually right back,
Okay.
but it does a pretty good job. Okay, there, in front of you is a chart that's the hearing procedure times. And that indicates or reflects how we're going to run the hearing today. Takes one of two forms. Either you can present first or the district can present first. Both of you have equal amounts of time to present, or to make your presentation, as well as rebut any questions, so on and so forth. But you get to make the choice of who goes first.
Okay.
You know what, put out
Okay. So we received all the information that was sent to us, and then we had pulled 6 comps of houses that sold in our direct area of Harbor Oaks in the last 6 months. And with that, we found that there will, because our house was listed as a 4-bedroom house, which it is not, the comps that were submitted to us are skewed because they're all based on 4 and 5 bedroom homes of the square footage size, which they're not. Ours is not. So with that in mind, we pulled ones that were comparable to straight up square footage, waterfront properties that have sold in the last 6 months, which we submitted to the board for review. And just briefly,
By the way, your evidence as well as the district's evidence it's here on the tablet if you want, but it's also projected on the wall.
okay.
So you have our evidence.
I do.
Do we have to go through every
It's
lot and comp?
You need to address anything that you want to be
Okay.
considered as evidence.
So we submitted to the board, let's see, 2309 Harbor Drive, which is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home with 3,274 square feet, which sold for $500,000, which is significantly less than our property.
That is exactly next door to our home.
Then we 2604 Lakeview Drive, which is right around the corner, which is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,852 square feet, which sold for $590. And then there is 22 for Cape Charles, which is still right in the neighborhood, which sold. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house. It's 3,889 square feet, which is much larger than our house. And it sold for $815. There is 2304 Edgewater Court, which is right around the corner from us, which is a 5-bedroom, 4 full bath, 2 half baths, which is 4,091 square feet and significantly larger than our home, which sold for $957. There is 2203 Cape Macon, which is a huge piece of waterfront property, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3,493 square feet, which sold for $935. These are all within the last 6 months. In the largest house, which is a 4-4, 2304 Lakeside Court, it's an enormous home. 5,707 square feet, sold for 1.25. It's an enormous house.
Now, the pictures of the bedroom or the office is not a bedroom.
They were in here.
And we submitted it.
And here they are. I brought.
We submitted these. This is what they're
Go ahead.
claiming is a
I
bedroom.
would say they're out.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what they're claiming is a bedroom. Or somebody claimed it's a bedroom. It's an office.
It's an office.
The desk is permanently built in there. Those
Bookcases are.
bookcases are permanently built in there. They claim this based on the fact there is a closet in this room. We believe that. If that's
If
what,
that's how they have
if
it.
that's what qualifies the room as a bedroom. We're not sure. This is off the living room. The only bedroom that is downstairs, the master. The other two bedrooms are up on its own floor. This literally has two French doors and open. It's right in the living room, and
It's not.
it's not a bedroom.
It's an office. Smush some in there.
They had a pull-out bed in there. That's what they did.
That's
Okay,
it, that's all my evidence.
all right.
We go over our time.
No, you actually have 30 seconds left, but you'll have some more time also. Here in just a minute. Okay, Ray, and by the way, I represent the ARB, and Ray Presley at the end of the table represents the appraisal district. Ray, you got 7 minutes, 2 for cross-examination and 5 for presentation.
Okay, we don't value bedrooms, just so that you know.
Okay.
Like bedrooms are a data point that we don't mess with. They're in this account. Normally they're not. I don't even know why it's there. It could have been in the account since the house was built. But to value bedrooms, I'm pretty sure an appraisal district or an appraiser that would value bedrooms, I think they have to do what's called value by regression. So they would have, an appraisal district would have to know essentially how much a bedroom is worth on the marketplace.
Okay.
So you'd have to have some intricate data. And mass appraisers wouldn't know that because we don't go inside people's homes the way that a fee appraiser does. When you're gonna buy a home, they come in, they take pictures, they measure, they look at your appliances, they know what kind of flooring you have, they do all that stuff. We have 4 people who appraise around 25,000 parcels every year. So we do it in mass. And the way you think about us is we study, you're in Rockport now. So you can think about us like this. We study Harbor Oaks as a whole, and then we split out waterfront and dry. And then we study Rockport Country Club and split out Fairway and not. And so we're doing Fulton Town Site, we're doing
Right.
groups. Sometimes we'll change 600, 700, 800, 1,000 values by clicking one button. And we'll change everybody at one time. I will encourage you, at this time, if you do have a question, scribble it down. Because there's, over the years, what we've learned is that's the best way to do it. And I had questions for you also, and I wrote down when you were talking, the closet and the bedroom, did that make it a bedroom? I think some people believe that. What I've noticed about bedroom / office, it's like in the eye of the beholder. If you guys moved into that house and we had 4 or 5 kids, you'd be like, man, I'm sure glad we got this other bedroom. But if you don't, you're like, this isn't a bedroom. I don't need this for you. I don't know. The thing that I think stands out is a question to ask, and not in a mean way, just like let's talk about this a little bit. Is why would your house be worth less than you paid for it? When you're in our study window. So your data is a point that was used to study the neighborhood. So why would it be, or if it was less, why would it be significantly less? Because sometimes people, maybe you overpaid, maybe there's something we don't know, I don't know, but it's a question, and then I have to go into our evidence, because I have to prove, it's the appraisal district's responsibility to prove value and equity. You actually don't have to prove it, I do. You have to prove, owners have to prove things like description, legal names and stuff like that, that I don't have to do, but I have to prove market and equity. So, we'll just go over this real quick. We are in Harbor Oaks. The first comp that we have is gonna be the subject property that was purchased in, March of 22. What we have is 1.025. And then there's a sale on Shorewood that was in January of 21 for 1.18. They're both over 3,000 square feet. And they're both relatively close in age. Age isn't really a factor between those two comps, and the land value is quite a bit different, though. The comp land value is significantly better. Oh, it's on the lake. It's on Canoe Lake. So it's much better land. Comp number 3 is also on the lake. Sold in December of 21 for $958. It's larger by 600 square feet. And it's about the same age. Comp number 4, also on the lake. Sold for $850, December of 21. Let's see here. It's larger. Age is not really an issue. Is that the last one? So our comps are spitting out a number of 1.1 for sales, and then equity is, let's see, class 6, class 7 home, class 7 home. Equity are basically homes that don't have to be sales. You don't study the sale number here. You just study the market value and the improvements, and you try to see, is the appraisal district overvaluing you in similarly properly adjusted houses. We come up with an equity value of 1.05. So that would say that we are overvaluing you by about $30,000 when compared to these 3 other properties in Harbor Oaks. That's all I have.
Wait, can I ask you questions now?
Yes,
Now
okay,
it's
so,
time.
yeah, now's the time. So you have 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal, so I'll give you 4 minutes.
Okay, I just want to be clear. So the 2 houses you have up there are those particular houses. I just need to see the pictures.
Oh, okay.
The figures are throwing me, but I need to see which house we're talking about.
This is the equity.
Right,
Okay, so this is the house on Edgewater.
right?
That picture probably looks, that's an unbelievable picture. I doubt the house looks that good. That
Right.
picture's so good.
And I'm like, where is the house?
It's on the right when you drive down Edgewater.
Yeah,
It's the first, this is the, like, kind of the first
And
$1
actually,
million sale in
but
Harbor Oaks.
that's just sold recently?
No, this was 4 years ago.
Oh, okay, so these aren't recent sales, you're just doing, these are equity.
These are just equity.
Okay,
It's, there, if they were a sale, the sale price wouldn't be included in the numbers. It would just be our value.
okay, and so by these 2 homes and your equity calculation, you're saying that you have probably overcalculated our equity by approximately $30,000.
That's correct.
Okay, so with that said,
Yeah,
is that, am I grabbing that?
yeah.
Okay, so with that said, and me showing you the most recent compatible sales by square footage and, location in the last 6 months, which they were, yes, we overpaid in a very high market. So that's our problem, which we understand. But we don't, we shouldn't be penalized because we paid too much
But
money
we
for
made a
our
mistake,
house
correct.
on the equity and market value of that home.
What do you think the value of the home is?
I'd say around 985.
We
Not a lot,
obviously
not-
overpaid.
I don't think we overpaid by that much, but when we did,
Hold on a second. You paid 1.025?
yeah. And I'm just,
985. Let me just do it right. And all the numbers in it. Thank you, Barbara. And you think the number is 985?
I think,
Yeah, okay. That's 96%.
I mean, I don't think that's an unreasonable.
Yeah, it's okay.
In the
It's
market
okay.
for what's
It's okay.
sold recently.
I don't have any issues with that. That's fine. That's 96% of what you bought it for. I'm not gonna, so I don't have an issue with that. But if I thought you were gonna go somewhere else.
No, we're trying to be really realistic about
No,
that.
You're
And
gonna
the
be
value.
realistic, it's gonna be hard for me to.
here's the thing, I mean, right now, I think the tax appraised value is at around $865
Yeah.
from the
Previous.
previous owner. Okay, we want, and again, we understood we paid more. We understand taxes go up. We understand land values go up. We're not trying to,
Yeah,
you
I would
know,
have thought you a little harder if you'd bought on the lake.
Right on Canoe Lake.
Yeah, if you were right on there, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have wanted to move.
There is someone to look canals.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
Okay.
If Scott can agree with that, I'm fine.
Okay,
For you.
you have a minute if you have anything else to offer, okay?
I've given you all mine. Giving you my best pitch.
All right, so based on the evidence presented from the district as well as you, I'll make a determination of 985,000. The way this works now, since this is a single member panel session, I have to take this determination to the full board as a recommendation. They vote on it, and we'll go from there. If for some reason they decide not to accept my recommendation, then another hearing would get scheduled for you to hear in front of the full board. And just as an aside, I think you do recognize the effect of your sale, because not only would it have influenced your appraised value, because by state law, the appraisal district has to appraise at market value. And your sale, your purchase really does influence the analysis that's done in an area. So not only did it affect your appraisal, it affected other people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and which is why we also wanted to have our own hearing, you know what I mean, and not waive that. We wanted to come down and find out like what was going on in the area
Sure.
and what spurred, this, but also with the fair-minded mindset of it being that like, we realize we overpaid in this market.
Yeah, it's a crazy time right now, and
Yeah.
and things may start settling out or even changing a little, but anyway.
understood.
Okay, so that concludes this hearing. The single member panel format of hearings is new this year. We, in a smaller district, have never had to do special panels or single member panels. And we're just trying to get our arms around some of the motivations behind why people chose that format. Not that it's good or bad, we're just trying to understand, because it is a little different, and because of the imposition of that second step of having to take the determination to the full board, it doesn't necessarily speed things up or any of that kind of stuff. Consequently, I do have a little survey which you can choose to or not, just give us a little more information. And we're just trying to, again, like get our arms around.
Can we fill this out and drop this off?
You certainly can.
Okay.
You certainly can. And even that survey, you
Oh, okay.
can do it here and leave it or whatever. Okay, no worry. And we appreciate it.
Are we good?
We are done.
Thank you, John, for your time.
Thank you. Okay.
John, you're there.
You too.
Will you take this? And then we have two more after.
In person?
One in person, one on.
Oh. Oh, you know what? Let me. Why don't we see if we can borrow Val's phone? I know hers works real well as I need the phone, my phone for time people.
No.
Can we borrow your phone?
Ouch.
What's the deal with that other thing?
Supposedly they sent us a new one, I think.
I can't figure out if there's some issue with the connect. So kind of connecting. I personally think it's not, I think it's a problem with the network. But that's, I'll let you guys work that out. And it's so new that the software, they can't figure out what's going on, so. Okay, this one is gonna be 1345,
Okay.
25134 is the. Okay.
Did you check on Zoom when you get a chance?
Yeah,
Everybody can check.
Oh, it would be up there?
They can go look up there. It would be right there.
nobody is.
Bar that
Okay.
comes. Also, this thing, the participants one.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You'd see them right, you'd see them right across the.
No, on like the
this thing. On the TV, you'd see them. Like when they come up, it goes ding and it pops up a bar up there that says so and so,
Waiting.
so and so is in the
The only
waiting
thing
room.
I can't is You're in Zoom, so I can't look at that. I
Yeah.
don't think, unless, can I just join the meeting? Although it might throw it back up in my computer. I know we've had trouble with
I mean, try that. I mean, you could join, I mean, if you join, I'll click you in and then you can just see who's on it.
Okay, we ready?
Yes, sir. That's not good.
No. Unless he's on the phone, waiting for us.
Yeah,
Something.
right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
What's, is there another one? Well, let me see what's going on here.
So you have the evidence pulled up.
Do not yet.
I'll look at the phone number on that, but it is-
I don't think so, because you very.
Which one is it now?
I'm pulling.
I tried and getting the message, which like.
Is that the thing phone number in there?
2720,
Not the protest? That's where it is.
2720,
Mhm.
that's on the affidavit.
Not look in the card or anything, or the other number? Okay, we got another number here on that protest,
It's the number you're calling.
21086.
Oh, he's calling here.
No,
We got it, we got
I
it.
think it was off.
Hello? Yes, this is the appraisal review board in Aransas County. Perfect. Yeah, hang on just a second. Going to get the speaker on. Okay, can you hear me okay? Perfect. Okay, and you are Michael?
That's right, Mike Colton.
Okay, is it Mike or Michael? Do you care?
Doesn't matter, Mike.
Okay, Mike. All right, if you'll hang with us for a minute, I have some administrative stuff to go through. And then we'll get into the specifics of your hearing.
Just ask.
Okay, we're commencing a hearing on case ID 2022-1345, account number 25134. Which is 48 Curlew in Rockport. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. And we'll verify what's under protest, which looks like at least market and equity values. Yes. And look at your comments. Okay. All right, so under protest is Q1 and Q2, which is incorrect appraised market value and appraisal ratio exceeding median level of the appraisal, which is equity. I represent the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. The ARB does not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed using the survey form, which is included in the determination package that you'll receive in the mail after this hearing, or you can actually take it online if you like. Information about completing and returning the survey are included at the top of that form. The survey is entirely voluntary, but we always do appreciate any feedback that you may wish to offer. You also have the right to appeal our decision. And appeal information is included in the package that will be mailed to you to document our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that has not been provided must be provided at this time. I do see that we have some evidence that looks like it was submitted. Okay, great. So I see what looks like a spreadsheet of some information. Is there anything else? All the information that you plan to address as evidence today, has been submitted, is that correct? Can you hear me okay?
Sorry about that. Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Worried about getting dropped here or something. Okay, good. The ARB member who is considering the protest has not communicated with anyone about the protest and is signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Scott Wagner, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm just signing here, okay. All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath, and I'm assuming, since we have a signed and notarized affidavit from you, that you realize that you are considered to be under oath.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
I request that you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony I shall present to the appraisal board for the Aransas County Appraisal District.
Okay, Mike, I have to ask you if you hold a license or certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing and Certification Board.
No.
Okay, fine. In the package of information that you received from the district is a chart which is labeled hearing procedure times. Do you happen to have that handy?
I don't have a looking for that, but I could.
Okay, great, because that's exactly what the chart indicates is we can either start with you going first or the district going first. You both have equal amounts of time to present, cross-examine and rebut throughout this process, and I'll just keep track of time on the timer so we're all doing it the same way. And you just indicated that you'd like the district to go first?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna look at a house on Curlew and Keel Lake Road. And I'm gonna go straight to the sales grid. Sales and equity are under protest, so let's take a look here and see what we got. We have a value of $639,000 on the subject. Undoubtedly, that value went up from the previous year. We raised all of Keel Lake Road. So the first comp is 19 Curlew. And it sold in March of 21 for $660. And it is the same build year. And it is about the same living space, 50 feet difference. And then the next comp is 21 Hooping Crane, sold for $574. It is, let's see here, the same size, about the same age, and has a little bit less value in the lot. It's yeah. And then comp number 3 is on Curlew, and it's 1,000 square feet bigger. So for $945, it's on 8 Curlew. And the next comp is on 13 Curlew, sold for $759. And it's 300 square feet bigger. And shows a remodel, actual year built 73 or 74 versus 73. The median sales value is $679. showing us to be $40,000 low on the subject. That's in Key Allegro, that's not rare when you're studying sales because of the high sale prices. The next thing we need to do is look at equity. And we're gonna have some class 4 or 5 minus homes in here and hopefully be around the right square footage. Produce some equity comps here. The first one's on Sandpiper. It's about the same size, nearly the same age, same class. It adjusts out to 639. The next comp is on Curlew. It is larger. And the other stuff matches up, but it's 300 square feet larger. And let's see, it comes out to 659. And then Curlew again, class 4, larger, 300 square feet larger, older, at the effective age by almost 20 years, comes out to 589. And then Curlew again, and this is a 5 minus, so it's a class up, or a half a class up. And a couple square feet, couple hundred square feet bigger. All of that to say the median equity value is 639 when comparing to similar properties. Oh, there's one more, I'm sorry. There's a class 4, 2,300 square feet, newer home. And so the median equity value is 639. That's all I have.
Okay, Mike, you've got 2 minutes to cross-examine and 5 minutes for your presentation. So I'm going to give you 7 minutes. Okay.
Excellent. I've put gathered a list of 7 different comps in the neighborhood, many of which are just a few houses away. It's good to have, if you guys have that one.
Yeah, we're looking at your spreadsheet.
There obviously is my property. Properties, there are 743 Curlew is the first, those are at the same time. Obviously, 2 houses away. This is almost across the street, catty corner. The improvement value is valued at about $70 a square foot. It is, I believe, a class below us, but that didn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of the discount to in that time. There was something else going on. 44 very similar to 7. You move down the street a little bit, 21 and 17 Curlew, those improvement values start to go up a little bit. And in order to get 7 subject properties moved over to Bimini, which is a street, 1 street away from us. Found a few other properties, similar age, similar class, similar size, a little bit bigger, but obviously we're looking at cost per square foot. Average those is just below 95. I apply that to our square footage. There are a lot of different ways to do this. Valuation is not an exact science by any stretch, but this seemed to show that there was inequity in how things were done. Meaning things were not equal and uniform because we were being valued at 139, almost 140 a square foot, whereas, you know, I'm showing you many examples, one, you know, across the street, which is half that. Built actually 2 years, you know, earlier. It's the same class, 43 curlers of 4, and it just it doesn't seem well equal and uniform. So that is all I have to present.
Okay, we've got another couple minutes here. In just a second. So Ray, you got 2 minutes.
Mike, can you hear me okay?
I can't.
So I don't know what the number is. I'd say maybe 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 times when we have a discussion that's similar to this. It's always, I think, frustrating for both sides. Your evidence that you're presenting is the way everybody that comes in here, for the most part, presents their evidence. We, at the appraisal district or any appraisal district, does not compute the way you're computing, where you're either dividing square footage into total value or you're dividing square footage into total value less the land. That's the way I would do it. If I'm gonna buy a house or something, I would just do it real quick like that. But what we have to do is we have to have value per square foot for everything. Or for, maybe not per square foot, but for each, like say a swimming pool or a boat lift. So we have a value for your living space per square foot. If it's upstairs or downstairs, it's different. We have values for porches. We have to deal with depreciation, like on 43 Curlew there. The reason that number is so low is because they have 25 or 20 more years of depreciation than you do. So we have pushed back against your depreciation. We're not calculating on your house as if it's still 1973. And that's very common. That's how appraisals work, to combat that homes don't typically depreciate forever, because people invest back into it. They put roofs and windows and new flooring and countertops and all that kind of stuff. Was that my buzzer, Scott?
It was. But
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, it's hard at this point for us because, you know, what you're showing with these different square footages, it's always found either in depreciation, class, or the fact that as places get bigger, like some of your comps are larger, so it's less per square foot. On an economy of scale, it's less per square foot the larger that it gets. It's some combination of all of those things that cause the perception that you're being treated different than other people, but it's always found in those elements. The differences are always there. And depreciation, that's a big one. I mean, that can change a per square foot value, like that 70 number. If that 20 years was there, that number would be a whole lot higher than 70. That's all I have.
Okay, Mike, you got 2 minutes for any rebuttal.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate that response. The very definition of the very explanation that you gave is kind of the reason why I think we have a problem in the first place. You know, the valuation of houses, what someone else is willing to pay for it, that's really what, you know, defines what value is. And I can tell you, you know, with a lot of experience, the appraisal methodology that you just put forth, while it's very detailed and it puts values on a lot of different elements, and it serves as a it serves as a uniform methodology for coming up with evaluation. It is subject to riding off the rails when it starts, when it starts following this methodology.
Yeah, okay, I need to stop there. You'll have another minute in just a minute. So, Ray, you got a minute for any other comments?
Yeah, the comments that I would add are that I think that Mr. Fulton is correct. Actually, you know, you can't just throw out somebody else's way because we say this is the way we do it. I can appreciate that. And if I'm on that side of the fence, I think I'm in agreement with what he's saying. The reality that the appraisal district has is that when we look at the work like that he's given here, is that we are skeptical that the cost per square foot in there is skewed because of depreciation. That's usually where we find it. We find that there are numbers in there, and in other words, that average of 94.82 would change quite a bit if there was proper adjustments mixed in there. And I feel like that's where we're hanging our hat is on the appraisal district does it one way, this is the way I do it. The only thing that I would say about this other way of doing it is that number should be adjusted for depreciation at a minimum. Class and neighborhood and all that stuff, I think we can go all or a lot of it out the window unless there's too much of a space in class. But if they're kind of close in class, the depreciation, like on 43 Curly, that 20 years, that sure does change that per square foot number by a lot. All right, that's all I have.
Okay, Mike, you have 1 more minute to provide any other closing comments.
And the methodology makes sense on the depreciation side, but again, you know, when we get right back to what people are willing to buy and sell for, they're really not looking at depreciation. And I understand it's a rational methodology, but you know, when you stand across from those two houses looking at them, you know, they look very similar, and we may have a new coat of paint on, but you know, the 90% of everything in that house is still 1973. So, and I think a lot of owners really see that. So I think ultimately that bears out in market values. You're gonna get a little credit for, a few, things that you've done, maybe, put in new cabinets and a new, thing job, and you'll get paid a little bit for that, but it's not gonna be, material,
Okay, I need to,
I think that I put forth some of those were updated, some of them, that's why I used the $95 a square foot and not the $70 a square foot, so I'm just 40% over 43 currently, when you look at the cost per square foot.
okay. I'm gonna make a determination now, and based on, part of your discussion, I mean, I've followed along with it, and I know it's difficult to keep separate in our minds the difference between market value and equity. And, equity is based entirely on sales. And the whims of the market in terms of people that are paying what they're paying or not paying, I mean, that's what drives market value. And equity, conversely, does have to accommodate differences when we're developing comps between a subject property and a series of other similar properties. Still, there are going to be differences that have to be accommodated based on age, quality of improvements, features that are present or not within a comp versus a subject property. I particularly like the equity information that we've got, and that was presented from the district on 43 Curlew. However, there are still some differences, and so what I'm going to make a determination on is to come down 25,000 from your appraised, your market value of 639,170. So the determined value I'm going to take forward to the board will be 614,170. The way this process works now, since you chose to use the single member panel format, is I will take that determination to the full ARB as a recommendation, and they will vote to either accept or not accept that recommendation. I can't say, I would imagine there won't be any particular issue. So if it does not get accepted, then what will happen is this case would be rescheduled for another hearing in front of the full ARB. Okay, so you understand the new value I set? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And you'll receive a determination package in the mail. Okay, bye-bye.
Just so I'm clear, 614,170.
Yeah.
Whoever's bringing these up there needs to stop. What happens? I cannot stop you.
As in it's city hall.
The skin's not fitting.
They're almost done though.
I know, I think I've ate every one.
I-
Are you ate one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you ever had zaps?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the